Hey guys, welcome to this Pyraminx collab walkthrough solves. Today I'm going to be joined by Jasper Murray and Elyas Eyou, who are one of the top Pyraminxes in New Zealand and Oceania. So huge thank you to them for joining this Pyraminx example solve video. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Hello guys, today I'm going to be doing Pyraminx example solves with Ashley Foster. Thanks for having me on, Ashley. And
Hey guys, this is Jasper Murray. I currently hold the NZ National Record Average with 2.15, which is second in Oceania and ninth in the world.
So first thing here on the first scramble, just looking around, I see there aren't any blocks, but we can easily block build. So the best option I saw was blue. So you can insert this blue into here and then bring it down with its other centers. But before doing that, you could also insert this blue into back here. So like at the same time, so when you finish lining up the centers, we have RV. So this is what it looks like. So I'll do these two tips first. I'll insert this back like that, and you see it pairs up here like that. And then here we're going to be left with this alpha 4e case, which I go like this.
so this first solve, there are no blocks that I could see quite easily, but there is something on blue that I probably would have done if I was in comp. So I'll probably put this here and then bring it down. But firstly, so for tips, I normally do all of them first, and then I would start doing the body moves. But I think something that's better that I can see is that I can put this edge in back here with L prime, and that makes this block which I could put up. So I'll do that, then I'll solve this here like that, and then L3E.
A scramble. I saw that you can do a nice yellow V, because if you do a U move, basically sets up to like a sledge pattern. So if you do a sledge, it solves the V, and then you can see pretty easily that move will bring this over here. So you can do U prime, R prime, R prime to finish off. So that would look like this. Tips.
Okay, so the second scramble here, I see there's a yellow and red block. And just looking at yellow, if I like put the center down like that, like these pieces aren't like lined up really nicely to make a V, so I probably won't go for that. So best option I see is red. So what I can do is bring this center down here like this, but I see this edge will come up here, and then I can just insert that to the back right here, and then we'll have our V completed. So I'll probably do these two tips first. I'll put the center in its place like that, like this, so we have all the centers solved, and then I'll solve this into the back like that, and then here we're left with this alpha 4e case, which I do like this. So, and I'll do these two tips and then finish.
Alright, so next solve, I would do red because there's already a pre-made block here. I'll do tips like something like that probably. Sorry. And then I would, instead of just putting this center in here like that, I would put this edge over here and then do that, which would make this block and put it in. And then I'll rotate and I'll do U prime. And the standard case that I would normally do is insert and then this one, which is kind of annoying because you switch between left moves and right moves. So I'll just do a sledge, U, hedge. And that's the solve.
Okay, so for the second scramble, what you can do is red V, because if you do a U prime, then that brings this edge over here, so you can insert it down there. And then what that does is it leads you to an alpha case, which you can actually like cancel into a solution for to kind of force slice layer skip. So the way that would look is like this, and then you can go like this.
Okay, so I'm just looking at this third scramble here, and honestly, it's pretty horrible. But I think I found a decent solution, which is quite long for a V, but it's gonna have to do with a scramble like this. So we see there's no really like good centers, I guess. Like we can't just like do the centers in like 1 or 2 moves and then do a V. The centers aren't placed very nicely. So I guess this is what I'll do. So I found a decent solution on yellow. So I'll probably do these 2 tips first. And then here I see these 2 yellow centers and this yellow center. So I can put this into here while putting the centers. So I'll do something like this. Put these 2 centers in its place. And I could do a 1 move like that and then insert this. But before doing that, I can insert this into here like that. And I'll probably do the tip first. The last tip like that. And then here we're left with this L40 case, which is actually not that bad. So like that.
So this third solve is quite terrible. I had a look around and I saw something on yellow, but there are no blocks in the scramble and all the centers are not in the right place, which is kind of annoying. There are not many 1-move blocks, but the 1-move blocks are quite hard to use, so I'll just do a normal solution I'll do. So I'll do tips like that, and then I would solve yellow in the front here, doing R, and then I'll do L prime, but I would like move this whole layer so that it kind of rotates up. So L prime, oh sorry, I did tip at the back, and then I'll do probably U prime, put this one in here like that, sledge, rotate, and then we have a rat insert. That was quite a bad solve, but yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to be honest, the third scramble is kind of awful, and the solution I'm going to show later on is like pretty hard to see. Like there's no way I would find it just in a solve, and I just had to play around with it for ages to figure out something that would work. So I'll start off by showing you like what I would do if I got this in comp. So basically the idea behind this is if you do a U and then R, that can pair this, then you can solve this center and then just insert this edge before you move down the last bit. So I'll show that. So you do that, solve this center, insert this edge, and then I just wanted to find a reasonably finger trick friendly V that wasn't like too long. Like obviously that's a lot of moves, but it's not too awful. Well, it kind of is, but you know, so that I could one look, and I just needed to predict the case, which I did, and then you can solve this alpha plus Eyou with this alp. And then the solution I'm going to show you guys for educational purposes, I guess, is it's on yellow, I believe. Yeah. So what you can do is, this is kind of stupid. I'm not really sure how tips would fit into this because I'm not really thinking about that. But first, you can move this center up so that you get this edge in position to pair it with that, like that, and then you can solve this center. Just because if you do it there, you can do it at like any time, but if you do it there, then it sets itself up nicely for later on. Then you can do U prime to pair this, and then it brings this edge so that when you solve this center, it creates a block, so that you can solve the V. And then, yeah, just L3. I'm not really sure how I'd do tips for that, because like, well, I could go back and figure it out, but it's not really important. So yeah, that was solve 3.
Okay, so this scramble here, again, it's not too great, but honestly, I think it's fine. I think I found a decent solution on blue. So what I'll do, I would probably go for blue since like all the centers are solved, so I can just like insert the edges. So I would do these 3 tips like that, and then I'll insert this blue yellow piece in the back like this. I could just bring this down and then insert this, but I'll kind of do a move like that so I can solve this edge up here, and then put this blue piece in, and then here we're just left with this easy L3 case like that.
So for this next solve, there are no blocks, but I see that all these centers are already made, which I would probably go for, depending if the blue pieces are on top. So 3 of them are, which is good, so we can cancel into some inserts. So I'll do the tips like this, and I'll do it from this angle. So I could choose to do this one, or this one first. I don't really mind, but I think what I'll do is I'll put this in the back with R prime U R, and then instead of putting this in the front, then rotating, then doing the L40, I would put this in the back with L U L prime, and then I just get this L3 U, which is U prime R U R prime U prime.
Okay, so I thought Scramble 4 was pretty nice. What I found is on red, so if you insert this edge with LUL prime, then that brings this piece over here so that you can insert it with UR, which then solves an edge so you can just do L3. So it's pretty nice. I'll show you that now. And then you have this.
Okay, so again for the Scramble, there's no blocks whatsoever, but we could block build pretty easily a good V and end up with a decent solution. So what I saw just inspecting was red was the best option. There's a 1 move center like that, but instead of doing that, you can block build something not too bad. So what I'll do is I'll probably do these 2 tips like that, do an R prime to put this into here. I could bring the center down like that, but instead of doing that, I could do a U, and then that could put that piece down there, and then V is made, and then I don't know this ML for you, I guess, so I'll probably just rotate and then do this easy L for Yauk.
Okay, so for this solve, I want to show 2 solutions that I might choose during a normal solve. So I see that there are no blocks again, which is kind of unfortunate. So I would just have a look around for the centers. So I'll just check green first. Yeah, there's 1 decent solution on green. I'll show you that soon. Red, there is no good solution that I would probably do. And blue, there's quite a decent one. And yellow, no. So let's start with the one on blue. So I could probably put these 2 down like that, but I wouldn't do that in the solve. I would just look around for the blue pieces, and I would like move them in before putting them down. So I'll probably put that in, or I could do a U and then an L, which would make a block. So I would probably go for this one because it doesn't have a flipped edge, whereas if you put this in, then put these 2 down, it'll be a flipped edge, which will be quite annoying. So I'll put this one in, and then I'll do 2 tips, and then I'll do R prime L, rotate, back insert, which is R prime U R, U, R U prime R prime. Okay, so for the other solution, yeah, so I will do green. Green is not that bad, but I think I would go for the blue solution that I showed you before. Firstly, I would do these 2 tips like that. U prime, put this one in here, like so. L, R prime. And then instead of doing an L prime, I would just do L, U, L, so that it cancels a move. Because then if we were to do L, L, and then put that in, that would be annoying. So if you just did L, U, L, rotate, and then, well, sometimes I would do 2 elks for this, but yeah, I know that this will give you no top AUF, so I'll just do an L param UL, and then I'll like kind of regrip, but sometimes I just do it like that, but I'll regrip and that.
Okay, and finally solve 5. What I found was on yellow. Basically, if you do L, R prime, L prime here, you can solve this with these two, and then that brings this piece over here so that you can do a U, and then just solve centers, and then that actually solves like this edge to here, so you get a L3. And I think I'd probably do tips afterwards, maybe. Oh, I might do it at the start. I don't know. It doesn't matter though. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks to Ashley and Elyas for having me in this video. Hope you learned something, because I tried to do pretty good solutions. And yeah, see you later.
Thank you for having me on, Ashley. Subscribe to Ashley or else you are sad. Bye.
Yeah, thank you so much to Elyas, Eyou, and Jasper Murray for joining this collab video. If you guys want to see more walkthrough solves in the future, definitely leave a comment below. Yeah, see you again next time.